Hi, it's Drew with Finale Fireworks, and it's my pleasure today to be here with Scott Smith of COBRA Firing Systems. Scott, say hi.
Hey, how's everyone doing?
Great. Okay, so today we're here to talk about the Finale 3D Virtual Pyromusical Design Competition, and specifically the COBRA Award, which is your chance to win $1,000 of COBRA gear. So first, I'll give a brief overview of the competition, and then I'll turn it over to Scott to talk about the specifics of how you can win the COBRA Award. So let's jump right in. The first thing you'll want to do to get information on the competition is launch a web browser and visit finale3d.com. That's where I am here. And from the Finale 3D homepage, you'll just click on the banner to visit our contests page. From the contests page, you have a few different options. I'm just going to go ahead and open the complete info and rules in English. This brings you to the competition page, which includes all of the details that you need to enter and win the competition. The first thing I want to mention on this page, and probably the most important thing that I'll mention today, is that anyone can join the competition. If you don't have a Finale 3D license today, no problem. Reach out, send me an email, support@finale3d.com, and I'll get you set up with a license to join the competition. The next thing I want to mention is that there's no registration for the competition. To join, you'll just be creating a show, designing a show, and then submitting it. And all those details and rules are right here on this page. The one date to keep in mind is November 30th, and that's the date, that's the final date and deadline by which you must have submitted your show to be entered for judging in the competition. So let's take a quick look at some of the details on this page. Of course, we're here today to talk about the COBRA Award, but I also want to mention that Finale Fireworks will be giving out $1,300 in cash prizes for the top 3 finishers in the pro and hobbyist categories. Next, we have the COBRA Award details, which we'll circle back on in a minute, as well as a great prize from Ultratech Special Effects. This brings us to a section with some good information and a good summary on how to participate. Again, you'll be designing a show, and then you'll use the form which is linked here to submit your show for judging. On the right-hand side of this section, we have a checklist that goes over all of the critical things that you need to know to submit your show and the rules that you need to follow in order to have your show entered for judging. So let's look at these just very quickly. First, you'll need to come up with a show title and description. Next, you'll need to make sure to follow the requirements for the length of your show, as well as the soundtrack selection. Next, you have to be careful to make sure to follow the product selection requirements. And then finally, make sure to take a look at the virtual budget requirements as well. And these requirements are designed to keep the competition fair for all competitors, as well as make the show designs as realistic as possible if they were produced in the real world. Now, that was a very quick outline of these details, and this checklist is made for you to review your show before you submit it for judging. All of the specifics for each of these bullet points on the checklist are outlined below. The last thing that I want to mention is that the judging criteria are listed right here on the bottom of this page. And my best tip for you is to be sure to review the judging criteria to get good insight on how the shows will be judged, and therefore how to design a show that can win the competition. Now with that, I'll go ahead and scroll back up to the section on the COBRA Award, which outlines the 4 additional things you need to do to win $1,000 of COBRA firing system equipment. And I'll go ahead and turn it over to Scott.
Awesome. All right, thank you, Drew. We're really excited to be part of this. So excellent. Yeah, the COBRA Award is effectively an award that is for anyone designing a show, but furthermore, designing it specifically to be used by the COBRA system. So while we're obviously, while Finale is obviously judging the award based on, Finale and the rest of the judges are judging the award based on all the different criteria. In addition to that, we have the COBRA specific requirements. The first of which is you want to make sure that you are addressing your show for the COBRA firing system. So if you, Drew, can just go ahead and show the, this is a show that we have an example. And so we're going to go ahead and, Drew, if you can show how to address this for COBRA.
Yep, so I've just chosen COBRA as my firing system, and I'm just going to go with the default settings here. Click enter to address my show. Over here, you'll see there's no rail and pin settings yet for the show. So if I click enter, I'll go through address the show. And as you can see, I've used, in this example, 104 COBRA modules.
Perfect. All right, and the second criteria is actually the setup report. So let's go ahead and generate our setup report for our show.
So I'll just go to File, Reports, and in this example, and this is the competition requirement, I'll choose Special Reports and then Setup by Position. just give it a name here, and then save to save the PDF, which you can see opens automatically after the report's generated.
Great. Now the third requirement is to create our labels.
Now there's no specific requirement on which labels you choose, so I'll go ahead and just choose labels by part number because that's pretty common when you're setting up a show in real life. And I'll just go ahead and choose the Avery 5260. Again, this is really up to you, and it doesn't matter which particular labels you choose when entering the competition.
Perfect. Excellent. So the fourth criteria is probably the most important with regards to COBRA. So one of the reasons that we have this award is, we're trying to, in addition to making a realistic show that you can create using Finale, we also want to make a show that you can realistically shoot with the COBRA equipment, right? And one of the benefits of COBRA is that COBRA really offers a nice variety of modules that you can choose from. So if you don't mind, Drew, let's just go to the COBRA Firing Systems website. And so, yep, we've got a link to it right on this screen. Brings you right to the modules section. So we're not too concerned about what you're using for the controller or what you're using, but primarily it's the modules. So if we scroll down just a little bit here, you'll notice that COBRA has 3 different connection options. We do offer quick plugs, which is a brand new technology for ease of setup and teardown. Traditional onboard terminals, which are more like speaker terminals that you would see, and then also just the option of slats that we offer. And so, when you are choosing the equipment, you want to consider and kind of, sell to us what was the choice, or what were the choices that you made for your different connection options that are available within COBRA. If you do click on any one of these pictures, it'll actually bring you to a video that talks about, it's a very brief video that talks about each of these different options and how they work. So not too much time. For example, here on slats, you can take about 7 minutes and learn a little bit more about them. And then if we scroll down towards the bottom, you'll notice that COBRA does have an 18, a 36, and 72 cube modules that are available. And now for each of those modules that we have available, you will see that you can expand into each of the different 3 connection options that we were talking about. So we have quick plugs, onboard queues or terminals, and slats for each of those different modules, right? And so when you're designing your show, in addition to efficiency in the setup, we're also considering the actual efficiency in the equipment that you're selecting, right? So for example, if you have a front position, you may want to consider a higher Q count module, potentially using slats for pre-wiring and then connection the day of the show. So we just want to understand kind of your expertise and your knowledge of the COBRA equipment. We understand that, sure, you could probably go out there and pick 118 Ms to shoot your show, but really we want to, since this is a virtual competition and although we are trying to make it realistic, we also want to kind of give you a little bit of carte blanche as far as what COBRA equipment that you're using, and submit that equipment to what you're planning on using, and talk a little bit about why you're choosing that equipment based on efficiency, based on ease of setup time, and based on cost. And so, yeah, that's basically the 4th requirement. And obviously, if you have any questions about the COBRA equipment, we do have our email address right on the Finale landing page. And obviously, Drew, you guys will be available, I'm sure, with any questions with regards to Finale.
Yep, absolutely. As Scott mentioned, you have the help@cobrafiringssystems.com email address, and we also have our support email address listed on this page as well, which is support@finale3d.com.
Perfect. So anyway, I know us at COBRA are super excited. We love Finale. We love supporting them, and vice versa, I'm sure. And yeah, Drew, anything else you want to say about the competition?
I just want to thank Scott and COBRA for being a part of the competition, and good luck to everyone as you design your shows, and feel free to reach out anytime if you need anything. Thanks.
Perfect. All right.